Everybody tells you reading stories will put kids to sleep, but it never works. It didn't in my house.
Especially not Christmas Eve. Lullabies, though, every time.
The cats nestle close to their kittens. The lambs have laid down with the sheep. You're cozy and warm in your bed, my dear. Go to sleep.
Oh, you didn't actually want to drop F-bombs on your kids on Christmas Eve? Ah, whoops. Well, in that case, I promise I will keep my tips G-rated from here on out. Holy jumpin', this is one of the hardest balance acts of the whole holiday season, because on the one hand, you want your kids to really enjoy the holidays. You want your kids to spend time with family and friends they maybe haven't seen in a while. But at the same time, you don't want to push the boundaries so far that they turn into crazy, zombified, sleep-deprived lunatics. Like, that is fun for no one. So what can we do to encourage our kids to have fun while at the same time holding some semblance of normalcy when it comes to sleep? First, off the top is consistency, which, like, even saying that, I'm laughing at myself because it sounds so ridiculous. Like, being consistent at Christmas, how's that even possible? They're staying up later, we're staying at friends' house, we're staying at families' houses. How the heck can I be consistent? Totally feel ya, totally feel ya. Here's the way that I look at it. I just try to be as consistent as possible. So for us, that means if we're sleeping away from home, bringing stuffies, blankies, any of those comfort objects that they like to have at home, even their favorite pair of jammies, just something as simple as packing. For us, it's like superhero bonanza, the favorite pair of superhero pajamas. The other thing is, if your kids are using travel beds or travel cots, is to practice with those ahead of time. This is like probably my biggest tip. The first time before we ever took them anywhere using these travel tents, we set up little like camping experiences in their bedroom. It wasn't like extravagant, it was basically just here, tent. And they practice sleeping in that a couple nights a week ahead of time. So they get used to it in a familiar environment. And then from there, we would take it one step further. We would move it to another room in the house, whether it's a spare bedroom or we'd practice with them in our bedroom, just so they got used to not only sleeping in their travel bed, but also sleeping in it in an area other than their bedroom. It worked wonders and really goes a long way to keeping some of that consistency when you're on the road. Another thing to really keep in mind is to limit their sugar intake. Totally joking. I don't know, it's probably a good idea to limit their sugar intake. That's probably right up there at the top of the list, but I am not going to deny my kids Christmas cookies at Christmas. I'm just not gonna do it. I'm not gonna let them eat the whole pan, but hey, you do you, limit it the best you can, but hey, whatevs, it's Christmas. Okay, now, when it's getting closer to bedtime, I fail at this all the time, but just give them a heads up that the transition is coming, that bedtime is coming. So then that way it's not like, oh, shut off the TV, okay, into bed guys, and then they're all freaking out on you. If you give them, okay, 5 minutes, or when the movie's over, or just give them some kind of heads up so they know that it's coming. The next thing, these videos are so great because it's like me giving me my own advice for me to listen to, because sometimes I just don't. Even if it's later than normal, keep the same bedtime routine. My husband and I, we muck this up all the time because we push bedtime, we allow our kids to stay up, but then we just expect that when the Christmas movie's over, they're just gonna magically like hop into bed and be like happy as clams with no stories or none of our regular routine, which never goes over well, right? Because they are used to their routine. So this is something you can keep in mind even if you're at Aunt Zelda's. I don't know why I said Zelda. Does anyone have an Aunt Zelda? Leave me a comment if you have an Aunt Zelda. Even if you're away from home, not in your consistent sleep environment, even if it's not the same bedtime, when that bedtime comes, keep the routine the same. Whether it's jammies, teeth brushing, hair brushing, 2 stories, bedtime, just keep that part the same and it'll go such a long way to getting your kids into bed. And if they are still not wanting to go to bed, if they are still getting out of their room, parents, this is when you have to pull out the big guns. This is when it's time, this is the time, moms and dads, to teach your kids about time travel. You gotta remind them, Christmas comes quicker when you're sleeping. This little trick worked wonders on me when I was a kid. Yeah, mom and dad, looking at you. It's kind of genius, actually. I would always want to go to bed early on Christmas Eve so that Christmas morning would come faster, because everything comes faster when you're sleeping. It just does. It's straight up physics. I don't know. Go ask Stephen Hawking, I'm not sure, but there's something freaky going on about sleep. You fall asleep, you wake up, woo! 8 hours have passed. It's amazing. And then one last thing, probably actually the most important piece of advice, set a Christmas morning start time. Oh my gosh. Like, I'm just gonna say it again. Set a Christmas morning start time. Set a start time. So whatever it is, whether it's 7 a.m. or 6 a.m., pretty darn sure it's not 4:30 a.m., set a Christmas morning start time so your kids know nothing is happening before the Christmas morning start time. We did this as kids. Our Christmas morning start time was 7 a.m. So I have all these great memories of sitting outside my parents' bedroom door, just waiting for the clock to turn to 7 a.m. And I'm sure they were in there just laughing at us, but for me, it was really great memories. And then that way we were all on the same page. We went downstairs at the same time. It was awesome. So I hope that helps, guys. Just try your best to be consistent. Test out those travel beds well ahead of time. Keep the routine as best as you can. And just remind your kids that Santa can't come unless they're sleeping, because that's how Santa works. I really hope you've enjoyed this Christmas series. I will have more videos coming for you in the new year. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so we can hang out and be friends. It'll be awesome, right? Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. I won't sing, I promise I won't sing, but really, Merry Christmas. I mean it.